Tai Chi is a martial art, okay? Its full name, Tai Chi Chuan, Great Ultimate Fist, or also known as Spirit Body, or also known as Shadow Boxing. Now, a very simple formula is one yin, one yang equal Tao. So when it's in harmony, you have Tao.
Here then is a new mystery. What is the Tao?
Okay, first of all, I'll quote the Tao Te Ching, which is the book of Tao, if you would. In the first line, will say the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. So you're asking me to describe something, which what you just said is hard to describe, but for the purpose of the people who need to know, I will do my best. The Chinese character for Tao is basically the sun and the moon and a person walking the path. The concept is to be yourself, okay? Tao is simply the way of naturalness. It is the way of nature. So the way nature is the way we do our movements, the way we train. We train in both stillness and movement. Now, the stillness is the most important thing of the Tao because that's the primary spirit. That's where the power comes from. That's how you can reach the Tao, is through stillness, through meditation work. It's not necessarily just the movement, because you have to have the stillness inside the movement. That you can take this same energy, this qi, okay, which is at its base is breath, it's energy, and at a higher level, it's the stuff of the universe. It's cosmic energy, okay? But you can take this same energy and you can use it for healing within, to help heal others, or you can use it for self-defense. In any of these styles or of the various martial arts that we've spoken about, if you don't have Qigong, you don't have anything. Because Qigong is the inner work that takes place in the movements or in the stillness of the stances. There was two things that I wanted to be. One was to be efficient in the art of self-defense. I grew up in the city, for one, but it was also something within me, in my nature, that I wanted to do. And the other was to be a priest. And found that I could combine the art of self-defense with the divine spiritual aspect through the Eastern martial arts rather than, for example, the Western boxing, which I was studying. External martial art is dealing primarily with the limbs, the bone, muscle, the tendon. The Chinese term would be Wei Kong. So this is the outer work, okay? Kong or Gong meaning skill or work. The emphasis there is primarily on self-defense rather than cultivation, which was why that led me to the internal arts, because through all of the external training, which can be very physically demanding, I received some injuries of my knee, my back, and so forth. Because the training was very physically demanding, like I say, I chose to look for a way of healing myself, hence Tai Chi. Tai Chi is the best for cultivation work, the inner work, and so the internal martial art gives you a mind-directed energy, also known as mind intent. It works from the center of the body. So it's called Nikong, which is the inner work, and from the center it expands out to the limbs. But the self-defense aspects are both cultivation as well as the martial. But from an internal standpoint, I believe everyone should start with Tai Chi. Once one learns to eliminate the conflict within, and the conflict being that of the body, mind, spirit, when that is in harmony, when everything is integrated, you now transcend the fight. So there is no fight. There was a monk that recently said he has love in his fist. And when you get to that point, this is the true meaning of martial arts, is to stop fighting, to stop war. You learn about the cultivation, you learn how to rid yourself of any conflict so you can find peace. Yet when you move as if someone is there. If you really had to defend yourself, you would move as if no one is there. So the concept of the yin-yang, see, it's always an opposite. If you take this concept of yin-yang and you apply that in everything that you do, then you will have harmony in your life. Meditation is an everyday thing. Yeah, I'll sit I'll sit with students and meditate, I'll sit by myself. Yes, I'll stand and do meditation, and yes, I'll move and do meditation. Once again, stillness within movement. But, you know, you can be washing dishes and you can have stillness and movement. So the meditative aspect is something that you do all the time. So people have to learn that whatever they do in their work, they have to carry this concept with them. You don't do it for an hour and forget about it. It becomes a way of life. The idea of standing meditation is that it gives you a vertical axis between earth and sky. It's a very powerful form of meditation. The meditation, obviously the energy is always directed inward, once again as we expand outward. I consider myself, first and foremost, a student of the Tao. I consider myself a student before I consider myself a teacher. In doing that, I'm always learning and I'm always growing. So when I have a student in front of me, I become the teacher. When the student walks out the door, I become the student. You learn a form to enter into formlessness. So you always want to free yourself from any structure. The principle of Tao is to be natural and spontaneous. So I will transmit some movement that I feel from the Tao. This is where the silk-wheeling, spiraling power exercises come in, because they loosen all the joints and allow the energy to flow. So the silk-wheeling is the best thing, and that's like the essence of the Tai Chi work, silk-wheeling Qigong. It really has to do with the mind more than anything. It's all about the mind. You have to use that inner mind to control the outer mind, not vice versa. The true mind is when there is no thought. And this is the mind that I teach. This is the mind of Tao. And this is the mind, this is the meditative mind. This is the mind of stillness. So it's about learning about your true nature. And when you understand that through the training, then you will fulfill your destiny.